Hey, all right everybody, how's it going? Now, a company reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a review of the mini sports camera. It's quite small, it's cylindrical, and it does 1080p at 30 frames per second, and I think it does 720 at 60 frames per second. But they've asked me, does it fit on my bike helmet, and can I do a review? So that's what I'll do. I'll put the camera on my bike helmet, get on the bike, and we'll have a look at the footage and see if it's any good. Hey, alright then, so I'm out on the fat bike and I'm testing the camera. You can see it's on top of my head here. I've got the phone camera by here and I got the GoPro on my chin. So I got 3 cameras on the go here, and I'm going to try and compare this camera on top of the helmet to the GoPro. Now I know the GoPro is much more expensive. You know, it's way more expensive, £300 odd versus £30 to £50 this sort of retails for this one on my head. So I'm not expecting to have any sort of stabilization or anything like that, and I'm not expecting that the picture quality to be as good. But will it be good enough, just, you know, for somebody on a budget who wants to film themselves? So down by here now there's a lane, sort of a footpath it is, and that'll be a good example of how this camera will fare, the one on my head here, compared to the GoPro. So let's give it a bash and see what it's like. So here's the lane here now. I'll just pull into this lane. I keep calling it a lane, but it's more of a footpath it is, but it's quite a nice place to ride. I've got to watch some of the low-hanging trees here. But now the camera on my helmet, it says it's got 120 degree field of view, but I'm a bit skeptical. I can't say that word. I'm a bit dubious of how wide of an angle it is, because I filmed the first time and it was pointing basically to the floor. So whereas the GoPro has a much wider field of view. So anyway, let's get down this lane and have a look what it's like. Now this should be a good example to see if it's if the footage is too bumpy, and if there's any artifacts in it or anything like this. But this is a good example. This is sort of the thing that is advertised for as a sports camera. So a sports camera is supposed to do this kind of stuff quite easy. But I was thinking to myself, what other applications could this camera be good for? And I think if I put it on, I got a GoPro on the front of my helmet by the chin area, and then this one's on top. There's a squirrel there, look, see? And see if I can catch a squirrel up. So he's going like a clappers, look at that. He's staying to the path, that squirrel. Look at that, there he goes. He's gone now. Anyway, so as I was saying, I've got this camera on my head, so if I turned it round facing behind me, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Because if I was, say, using my bike in traffic daily, you really would need a couple of cameras, really, just to protect yourself, really, from some of the drivers out there that, you know, they don't like to they don't like to give cyclists room, and they come very close, and you know, sometimes there's accidents, and it's good to have video evidence to see who was in the wrong and who was in the right, basically. I'm not saying every car driver's like that. I'm a car driver myself, but some car drivers, you know, if you're a cyclist, you know yourself that some car drivers, they see a cyclist and they've got to get past them as soon as possible. It's like a red rag to a bull, isn't it? For some reason they just got to get past you, and they see you as an obstacle. I got to stop by you, look, because there's some horse manure there and I don't want to get that on my pedals. Anyway, let's get going again. Right, let's get going. Let's go a bit faster now, is it? See if we can get out there. And like I said, so this camera, I think it'd be, as long as it lasts long enough, a couple of hours maybe, then that would be fantastic for, if I turn it around backwards. I think I'll actually, when I film this bit by here, I'll turn it around backwards and we'll see how it goes then, and see if it suits the purpose, because you know, every camera's got its uses, isn't it, I suppose, in a way. And like I said, it's extremely cheap. It's really, really cheap. So I'm trying to find the benefits of it, and I can see another poop on the floor there. Let's try and go around that without putting my thing in it. Anyway, we've got an audience now. Like, we've got a few people have turned up, but I'm going to go up that hill there over there now. Okay, so let's go around this way now. On camera, this doesn't look like much of a hill, does it? But well, it's not a massive hill, but we'll go up there anyway, and we'll show what the camera looks like out in an open space. You can see that the weather's sort of slightly overcast. There's a bit of blue sky around, but this is a good test for this camera on my head. So I think that's enough footage of this part of the camera. I think I'll stop somewhere now. When I get on the main road, I'll turn that helmet cam around and see how it goes, because I'll have my front facing camera, my GoPro, and I'll have that one, cheap one, because you wouldn't want to buy you wouldn't want to go to the expense of having two GoPros, would you? And this camera on my head is quite light as well, so I think that would be a very good application for this camera. So anyway, I'll get to the road and I'll turn around and I'll see you in a minute. Right, okay, I've got the camera turned around the other way. It's not going to be ideal because obviously the back of the helmet, it might be in view, so if I was going to use it this way, I'd have to get an adapter or something to make it slightly higher or further back on the helmet. I've just turned it around where it was at the moment, so you should be seeing the bottom of the top back end of my helmet in view, but you should be able to get the gist of what I'm talking about, and it'd be a good rear camera as long as you mount it properly. I haven't mounted it properly at the moment, so that I think is the best sort of option of using it as a rear mounted camera, because the quality isn't the best. It's nowhere near as good as a GoPro, but it's good enough. So that guy there decided that he wanted to pull out in front of me, which wasn't very good, and you can see why having a camera is worthwhile, isn't it? Because things like that, people pulling out, he see me coming but he still pull out, so I don't know why he did that for. But the sun was shining in his eyes, so he might not have seen me. I'm not quite sure, because when I was driving back up that way, the sun was shining in my eyes, so you can see why a camera is worthwhile when you're out on cycling. So what do you think then? Do you think it's worthwhile buying this camera? It's cheap enough. Do you think it serves its purpose? I mean, can you see the cars behind me? If I had it mounted properly, I mean, not the way it's mounted now, but what do you think? Hey, okay then, so that's my quick review of the Mini F9 camera, and I will say the one good thing about putting a camera on your helmet is that when car drivers can see you've got a camera on your helmet, they all give you plenty of room. So that's one of the biggest benefits of putting a camera that's visible, is that car drivers can see that you've got a camera, so they go, oh, I better be careful. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give it a like, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Ho-hoi!